Hi everyone, I'm Heather Nguyen, a retired nurse practitioner and the founder and practitioner at Arizona Healing Alternatives. On this channel, you'll find several videos, what I like to call aha moments, where we'll be discussing issues that impact your health. So whether you decide to use Western medicine, alternative medicine, or even a mix of both, I'm passionate about you knowing what your options are. For today's aha moment, I wanted to kind of talk about human nature. And I want to talk about human nature and how sometimes we want to move forward in our lives, but then all of a sudden we just feel stuck. And I've done some other videos in the past, but I kind of wanted to show a little bit about options of what you can do if you really feel stuck in your life and different paths that you can take. So stay tuned. So in prior videos, I've talked about, this ladder of progress and motivation and things like that we can do. But what I wanted to talk about, because it's so important that as humans, we make mistakes. And in my video, it's not perfect. Perfection everywhere, always. Everything that we do in life, there's a component that sometimes we're not feeling well, or we have pain, and we do things, and we kind of sabotage ourselves. And that's really, really common. And a lot of people feel really bad about it, and they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doomed to be this way the rest of my life. And you're really not. That's sort of human nature. It's sort of like when I talk to people and they talk about almost like, wow, so many things are good that are happening. There's so many wonderful things. And then when's something going to hit? When is the sky going to fall? And that's human nature. And so what we have to do is, I always talk about perception is everything. So we have to think about if something bad is happening, or something is happening out in the world, or whatever it is, the way we view it is the first thing. Because are we viewing everything as doom and gloom and upset, or are we viewing things in a more positive light? It's also important to realize that when I'm talking about sabotage, I'm talking about little things that we do to sabotage ourselves, like, I don't know, not going to bed on time, or oops, I'm just going to skip that exercise, I'm going to have a little bit extra cake, or whatever it is. Little sabotaging things. I am not talking about big sabotaging things, such as doing dangerous activities or doing things that if you're really depressed or suicidal. We're not talking about that kind of sabotage. We're talking about day-to-day little things that you do to kind of not help in the goals that you want to achieve. So it's really important. Like I said, if we're talking serious stuff and dangerous things like that, that is a totally different topic, and you can see my stuff on sadness versus depression. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about those little things that we do to kind of, I don't know, should I really have had that other piece of cake? What should I do? Well, so what can we do about it? If you notice that about yourself, that sometimes are just things that you just feel like you're hitting a brick wall, even with yourself, what do you do? Well, some of the things that you can do, obviously there's traditional therapies and traditional psychology where you can talk to people about it, and you can try to recognize the pattern. That's a good place to start. You can recognize the pattern. There are also other different healing things, especially if there are other chemical imbalances or things which we've talked about in the past, to definitely get checked out. If there's chemical things going on, like thyroid issues or hormone issues or whatever it is that might be, or even depression or other things like that, it's important to get those things checked out. But now I know for myself, what's so funny is I love Viktor Frankl, because he recognized this sort of human condition. And one of the most fun things I get to do in my practice is something called emotional erase. And in another video where it's the de-stress in under a minute, where you do that, there are these points on the forehead that I work with and I rub on while somebody's thinking about things, and it cracks me up the categories of emotions he talks about. One of them is like garbage, negative things that happens to you, family garbage, all sorts of things. But there's also, which I find fascinating, a self-destruct correction. So there's a self-destruct button that some people have it, but honestly, a lot of people have it. And in working with that to kind of erase that out and that self-destruct. In fact, Viktor Frankl's son, Randall Frank, made a vial that's even like, have you ever known somebody that you thought had kind of a death wish? There's a vial for death wish, to try to correct that, especially if there's serious conditions or other things going on. So there are multiple ways to look at it. There's multiple people who do. I also do emotional reprogramming. Other people do that. There's all sorts of different things that you can do. But no, it's normal. that most of us have that little sabotage button, and it's just, what do we do with it? Do you want to get rid of it? Do you want to keep it? What do you want to do with that? So what's really funny about that self-sabotage button is Viktor Frankl has this very cute, in this book that I have, this large book that has all these corrections in it, he has this great cartoon about this, and it cracks me up where he says, you know, oh God, or you can even say the universe, whatever works for you, please destroy my worst enemy. And he's looking up to the sky, this little cartoon. And then the next thing that happens is this lightning bolt comes down from the sky and the person's turned to ash. And then you see the little pile of ashes says, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. And I think it's classic because it's so true about how we treat ourselves many times and sabotage ourselves. I hope this video has been helpful to help you know that it's not a weird thing, and there are things that you can do about it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.